So, Dinesh, welcome to Sports Talk by Sports Paddock, and thank you for being with us today.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for this opportunity to conduct this interview with
Yeah,
me.
we're so happy you could join us and give us a little insight about what you do. So, just to give a brief introduction about you to our audience, you were a cricketer who has played first division cricket for 6 years, which includes 4 years at
At
Alva
4
Pet,
years, yeah.
4 years at
Yeah,
Alva Pet CC.
yeah.
And then you design and learned cricket related fitness routines, which is when you became a strength and conditioning coach for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
certified level 2 strength and conditioning from ASCA. And
Yeah.
your earliest projects during your work experience is that you did a guide for combining traditional conditioning with fielding, combining conditioning methods for cricket for Australian Strength and Conditioning Association. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But that's a brilliant project. We'll definitely talk more about that soon. But
Sure.
even in your journey in the last couple of years, you've been the head of strength and conditioning for various teams for the Tamil Nadu Premier League.
Yeah.
And then you were the strength and conditioning coach head for the Tamil Nadu under-19 team as well.
Yeah.
And then lastly, last year, you were the head of strength and conditioning coach for the Indian under-16 camp, Queensland Bulls in Brisbane, right?
Yeah.
And your
Queensland
specialty
Bulls
is
was
cricket.
internship, yeah.
Yeah, internship. But your
Queensland Bulls
specialty is
internship, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then apart from all your extensive knowledge and skills in cricket and fitness, you are also an actor, right?
Yeah. Recent time.
Recent time. Yes, we'll definitely dive into that more. But the first question I'd like to ask you, Dinesh, is can you tell me the story behind as to why you took up studying fitness in especially strength and conditioning as compared to becoming a professional cricketer? What was that reason?
One second. Got a call. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Actually, when I was playing cricket, that time I was little low. Like, I don't see any future on that. And financially, financially I'm not good that much. So, but I have very much passion on this sport. I want to do something related on this sport. So that time, my senior trainer Satish called me this job.
Mm-hmm.
That time I don't have any passion on this. I want to be a coach that time.
Okay.
So skill coach. Yeah. So he offered me, come join with me. You can get decent money and you can train with yourself. So I joined with him. After that, I joined with Dhanashekhar and our team head physio Shyam Sundar and our team physio Bala Subramani. These three fellows encouraged me a lot, and all my cricketing friends, Gojit Shiva, Sunil Kumar, so many friends, everyone encouraged me. Like you should do. You are the right person for this field. I said I'm not I'm not fit for this. They said you are doing good. Just keep doing. And once at one stage, I understood I can help people. The people who are struggling like me, like that if they don't have enough knowledge about fitness and all, like sport related fitness knowledge,
you could help them.
Yeah, I can help them. Like I can change their performance. I'm not a fitness instructor. First I thought I'm a fitness instructor. Now I understood this is not a fitness instructor job. This is kind of performance changing job. Like we can help them to like how to say, like we can help them to perform well. Like
you instead of just
fast,
getting them generally fit, you get them specifically fit for the sport, for cricket. And that's your specialty.
Yeah, exactly. Especially fast bowlers and spinners. Fast bowlers mainly. We can change their career also. Yeah, positive or negative, both way we can change.
So are you a batsman or a bowler or all-rounder?
I'm a batsman and off spinner.
Batsman and off spin. Okay. So people come to you and you especially know your domain very well of bowlers and batsmen both. But so it's like you started off with being a coach and then fitness in general and then you streamlined into strength and conditioning. Is that how it was?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty, I think you owe it to a lot of your coaches and friends to actually tell you that, okay, you look like this is the right career for you. And I'm sure you're happy about it as well.
Yeah.
And how was your experience being the head coach of the Indian under-16 team? I mean, what is that like? Even though it was internship, what was that like?
No. India under 16 camp was a camp. That was a camp. That's not a team practice.
Okay,
that was camp, like 30 probables was there.
Wow.
And that was really, really good experience. Like I worked with Subhajit. Few coaches were very, very interesting coaches. Like
really?
Biju Mohan from Kerala, and fast bowling coach, and the Raghuram Bhatt from Karnataka. And we want to update every day to our head coach, like the mentor Rahul Dravid, and our seniors Soham Desai, and
wow.
Soham Desai currently working with the Indian team, and Anand Datte. We have to inform everything, and that is kind of a structural thing, and that is very easy job also, because if you are working with the professionals, it will be very easy. They know everything. You just monitor and guide them. That's it. Yeah.
But yours is different, since it was under 16.
Yeah, and under 16, that stage you have to teach what is strength and conditioning, how important it is, and how to do proper technique with exercises, and why you want to be fit. Because most of the cricketers thinking like fancy exercises. They are liking fancy exercises.
What are fancy?
They don't know what it like. Most ball training and like unbalanced surface trainings.
Okay.
Yeah. So at that stage, they want to learn clean, snatch, the Olympic weightlifting exercises. First, they want to know how to move. Yeah. So we have to teach the basics. So that's our job. We need to educate them on nutrition, recovery, those things also.
So at that stage, it's all like get your basics right, and you guys are appointed to let those under 16 kids know that, okay, to get here, you have to be solid at your base.
Yeah.
You have to know, because I'm sure like strength and conditioning will help you sustain a long-term career in any sport, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you are to be in sport, you should be fit.
Yeah,
so, strength and conditioning coach.
Absolutely. But even though you guys were your team was appointed as handling the under 16 team for the base foundation, do you think the Indian sports gives enough importance to strength and conditioning as compared to other nations, since you've gone abroad and like seen what they've done?
Yeah, past 10 years Indian team strength and conditioning is improving a lot. Now we are also using the so much top technologies. LA teams like English Premier League teams using the technologies, right? So we also use the same technologies like load monitoring and force velocity profiling. So many things we also follow it. Like that NCA setup is very good. Slowly the state association is also now doing well. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
is it a recent edition?
And Vidarbha. Past 5 years, the state teams also doing good. Okay,
so you see that they are giving importance to strength and conditioning at the basics level.
Yeah. Like 10 years before, people thinking the strength and conditioning coach is a fitness trainer, like you warm up and go. That much only they know. Now they understood the importance on strength and conditioning coach. Like the coaches discussing with strength and conditioning coaches, skill coaches discussing with strength and conditioning coaches, like bowling load, and how to improve on this bowling action, and how to move faster on the field, and how to develop endurance during the running between wicket. So many things they are discussing.
And you are the ones who help them with that decision.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm sure many people, like you said, many people have this misconception about what a fitness trainer is, what the strength conditioning coach is, right? But according to you, what is the most common misconception about strength and conditioning for athletes have? Like, what do athletes think strength and conditioning coaches are? Any advice you can give them?
Like most of the guys doing overload. That's it. Yeah.
Overload as can you specify a few instances with regard to cricket? Like examples, what cricket?
Like cricket overload means the one thing they don't focus the recovery part. Recovery is very, very important. Like they are bowling 20 overs in a day, like practice session. The fast bowlers bowling 20 overs. After that, they went for fielding. Then they're doing a gym session. That is kind of an overload. Yeah. And we should do progressive overload. And another overload, too much of exercises, too many exercises. And they are working like a few amateur cricketers doing a bodybuilding type of training. Like they are working individual part muscles. We want to improve our movement, like squat, lunge, push, pull.
So it's kind of the whole entire body, like connected to the entire body.
Yeah. We should understand which movement is important for us, like our sport.
So what is progressive overload? What is that?
Overload. Yeah. Progressive overload we are doing everywhere. Like the kit, how it will be run, how it will be walk. The kit slowly it will crawling and try to be stand on the wall. Yeah, that is the process for everything.
So if a fast bowler has to improve, say, his pace of bowling, like suppose he's a fast bowler, how would you improve progressive overload for him? Like what would you target first?
The target is what is the athlete need? The fast bowler, what is his need? Like most of the fast bowlers asking how to bowl faster. So that is not a strength and conditioning coach's job. Okay, so
strength conditioning would be only for shoulder related or
no, not like that. It should be a combined work, not like that.
Now, these are stereotypes I'm asking people have. So I'm asking you to clarify it.
Yeah. So the skill coach is first. Skill coach, strength and conditioning coach, and the physiotherapist. Everyone should work together. Then only we can develop his speed, everything. And the progressive overload, we should start from here. Like first, we understand his action, and we have to work. Like if the skill coach working on his action more, we have to give some time to him. At that same time, if we load here so much, we can't see any difference from that. And we have to update everything to physio. So then only he should understand. If he have a back pain or something or knee pain, if he change something in his action, he might get. So we three should work together. Then only we can understand. And the progressive overload, like if he wants to do plyometrics, like hurdles, right?
Yes.
Hurdles. Yeah. If he wants to jump hurdles, first he should know how to do basic jumps. So we have to teach those things. Yeah.
Correct.
So
no, that's such a good point. No, that's such a good point. And I mean, professional athletes are so lucky that they have skill coaches, physios, and strength and conditioning coaches to help them. But what would you advise someone who is in the semi-professional or amateur segment? Like suppose for TAL, we have several amateur league players who are playing football, cricket, so many things. So what would you advise them as a strength and conditioning coach to like take care in their own hands, like without having to make a mistake on the field and then regret it later? What would you tell them?
Yeah. It's a little bit tough question. Actually, people should understand. So people should understand the sport. Like footballers, they need a sprint repeatability. They need speed interval training, those kind of training. They don't want to do a lot of endurance training. For especially cricketers, they need more speed and endurance also, and explosive moments. So first we want to understand our sport. This exercise benefit for us. First we want to know that thing, and don't do too much of the training.
Don't overload.
That overload also. So I don't know how to say like
for cricketers,
exactly.
like say for cricketers, if you see an amateur team and you could give them one message as a strength and conditioning coach so that they can play the game longer and sustain their career. So as a strength and conditioning coach, what is the first thing that they need to keep in mind, or the main thing that they need to keep in mind?
Try to do fitness. For cricket, that's not a big thing. Like for fitness, you should do fitness. That's it. You should do fitness and try to find a strength and conditioning coach. Get advice from him.
Okay.
Like, don't do bodybuilding type of training. That's it. But other thing, everything is good. If you
I think that slows you down.
As a batsman, as a batsman, if he runs a lot, endurance training, that will be helpful for him. Mental strengthening. And if he did a speed training, it will be helpful for his sprint. So there is no mistakes in cricket. Like only fast bowlers, we have to focus a lot. Like and fast bowlers, my advice, try to focus on your shoulders and your glute muscles. So specific points and your stability also.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely, because we have an upcoming season 1 of TAL cricket coming up, and we hope that we can send this message out to any of the amateur players to keep this in mind also. And like you said, recovery is also
first do proper warm up.
Yeah, warm up
for the amateur players. First do warm up. Proper warm up.
Absolutely. We definitely send that message out. And along with strength and conditioning as a coach, you are also a well-known actor and recently released a movie during lockdown, right? What made you diversify into the line of film as well? I mean, it's cricket, it's been cricket fitness training. What made you get into film?
Film, like a childhood passion. I just give it a try. That's it. Like I have friends there, so we plan to work together. And I thought I will do one small role, but the director offers me do this thing because we didn't get another actor. That's why I did.
But how was it? How was the experience? I mean, I'm sure you were good with you, right?
Actually, good experience. Like first few days, it was very tough. I don't understand their language, and basically we are motivating here. If someone doing mistake, we never show negative impacts on them. But that itself straight away they told, what, you don't know anything, why are you coming like this? But slowly I understood how to react.
Wow, okay, that's a different learning for you about how different the film industry and the sports industry is with training and the routine. So what's the difference between training athletes and training celebrities? I think you've had experience with both sides. Is it very different?
Yeah, it's very different. Like sports training. The first question I told right. Performance coaching for athletes. Celebrities they want some specific goals like toning or muscle gaining. They need look fit.
Not performance related.
Not performance related. They don't want to jump this much. They don't want to bowl this much. So for actors, and one more thing, the athletes more disciplined than celebrities, so it will be easy to work.
Okay, that's bonus for athletes. I mean, but I'm sure it's a lot harder for athletes as well, since they have a harder goal to reach. Because even when it comes to cricket, to reach that pace or that fast bowling like speed, it's much harder as compared to getting just lean and building muscle. I'm sure there are tips and tricks to get to that goal. What is that true in your opinion, or
no? Actually, lean is good. No, not so much. We don't need so much of muscles to bowl faster. For example, better example, Nataraj.
Yes.
Yeah, Nataraj. You guys seeing Nataraj now? Now he's looking good. 4 years before, he was so much lean from now.
That way, even Bumrah. Bumrah still
yeah. That the fast bowling is combined like 100 sprint, long jump, javelin throw. If you see those sport athletes, they are not bulk.
So javelin throw, they're not bulky?
Not like shot put and hammer throw.
Yeah. Athletes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So the hammer throw athletes or shot put athletes. One shot.
Yeah.
They have to give best thing.
It's absolute explosive.
But fast bowlers, they have to give the 6 balls is best effort, and again repeat the same. If the test match, they give like 20 times like that. So if he is bulk, he can't move faster.
True. That slows him down.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. And so athletes, it's easier for them to hit their goals as compared to, for celebrities, it's easier for them to hit their goals as compared to athletes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can achieve easily because their workload is very light.
Correct.
The celebrities' workload is very light. Yeah. Comparatively, athletes, they can go. They are doing shoot those kind of things, but athletes, they have to do skill also.
It's all
After
performance
that,
based.
they are going to work also. So most of them got employed. So morning gym and training and practice, then going to work, then evening again practice.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I mean, I'm sure you've had so many experiences and you've seen so many of your athletes also doing the same thing, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, in all your years of experience, like with training, strength and conditioning, acting, and so many other things, what is your ultimate goal in life? Do you have an ultimate goal, or are you already living that goal?
Yeah, I'm moving on that. Like ultimate goal is happiness. Happiness wherever I get. Like at present, strength and conditioning, I want to help more people. Like I want to help to improve their performance. So from acting, I don't have so much thing. Just I wanted to feel for them. That's it. But ultimately, I want to go
You want
somewhere
to
more
reach an
professional.
Olympic level or something?
Yeah, more professional side, like English Premier League side or
Wow.
rugby team. And now, after a few years, I want to come back here. I want to do the same training methods, like the technologies here also.
Wow. Okay, that's a lovely goal to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And I mean, coming to the last question, can you tell me one most memorable moment in your career? Do you have
Cricket? When I was
anything?
playing or training?
Anything.
When,
One moment that stands out to you and will always be with you.
Uh,
So
on
many.
left arm spinner, I worked with so many. I worked with a left arm spinner. That guy played state level, junior level. He achieved a lot, but 2 years he didn't perform well. After that, we worked together. We understood what he needs. We worked together, and last year he got IPL. IPL. He got
Really?
selected for IPL. Yeah, so that was one
Wow.
of the memorable moments. And few young cricketers also, like a batsman who suffered a lot. Mental toughness. We worked together about so many mental talks. So that fellow also India under 19 probables.
Wow.
That that
And
was my memorable.
and you helped
And
him get out of it mentally. You helped strengthen
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
mental fitness.
yeah. Like I played cricket, no, so I know. I accept I'm a failure, okay, in cricket. So
No. Okay.
I know. I know these things. Like where we getting suffering mentally. I know those things. That was my mistake. So we discussed those things. Like this time we will think like this only. So we have to change this thing. And I'm following Paddy Upton. I read his book. He was the best mental coach for the BCCI. India won the World Cup, right? So few things like that, and
But
few
it's
guys working
brilliant.
like that way. Yeah.
That's
Hopefully,
a
our next interview, I will tell some other incidents.
definitely, and we will have
Yeah.
such talks, and we need to hear more people like you talk about such instances and such stories also, because even though you had so many, like, you have so much history about playing professionally and almost deciding to go professionally, you still didn't leave the sport as such. So we want to tell people that, you know, even though you might not become a professional player, you can still be with the sport in some way. Like, you are still in touch with your favorite sport, you're still in touch with the sport you love. So this is what we want to tell people also, and how you can succeed in it as well, and have goals like you, more professional in how to help people. So thank you, Dinesh. Like, it was really nice talking to you, and we hope to talk to you once more, and all the best for your goals and aspirations.
Thank you so much, and definitely I will come back here with my better communication skills and with more experience, everything. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Always looking
Thanks for
forward
this
to it.
opportunity. Yeah.
No problem, Dinesh. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.